Have you ever heard the old saying, you shouldn't step or stand on a grave? Now, there was this young adult named Barry, and Barry and his friends decided they wanted to go out to the cemetery one night. Now, this cemetery was known to be haunted, and there were all these stories and legends. So, him and his buddies, they go to the cemetery, and they're walking around with flashlights, kind of scaring each other. And he said that he was walking on the graves. And one of his friends said, "Hey Barry, like you shouldn't walk on top of the graves or stand on them. Like it's bad luck." And Barry said, "What are you talking about? Like I don't believe in any of that." So he starts stomping on this grave and then like spits on it and is like, What's gonna happen to me? A ghost gonna get me?" So he said, while they were in the cemetery, nothing really happened. So he didn't think anything of stepping on the grave or anything. Well, when he got back home, he just had kind of this bad feeling that maybe he shouldn't have done that. And so when he got to his house, he goes inside and his girlfriend is in the kitchen and she's cooking a big meal. Barry says, "Hey, what's up?" and stuff. And she goes, "Where'd you go?" And he goes, "Oh, I went out to the cemetery with some of my buddies." Well, as he's talking to his girlfriend, he sees someone standing behind her. And he's like who's behind you? And she's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, do you have a guy in the house or something? Like, who's behind you? And she looks around and she's like, "What are you talking about? There's no one behind me." And he said, there's a guy standing behind you. And like she couldn't see him, but he could see this guy, like, and he was wearing a flannel and jeans and boots. And he had just this very pale, long face, this brown kind of shaggy hair, and a longer kind of beard. And he's just standing behind his wife. And Barry's kind of like, "What's going on? Like, you don't see that?" And she's like, "No, I don't. Or you're starting to scare me." So Barry's like, "Whatever." He goes out of the room. He comes back. He doesn't see the guy anymore. And so that night, right, he is laying in bed, and his girlfriend's right next to him. He is just like tossing and turning because he can't really sleep because he's thinking about what happened at the cemetery. And when he turns over towards where his girlfriend's sleeping, he sees this man, the same man he's seen behind his girlfriend. And he is in between him and his girlfriend. And he jumps out of bed and he's like, "What the heck? Who are you? Who are you? What are you doing here?" And his wife's like, or his girlfriend's like, What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what's going on?" And he's like, "Who's the man in the bed?" And she's like, "There's no man in the bed." And so like he walks out of the room and is like, I can't handle this. He comes back into the room to apologize to his girlfriend and check to see if that he can still see this guy, and the guy's not in there. And for like weeks he was like seeing this guy standing behind his girlfriend. And so he said he got in his car one night, he drove to the cemetery, and he went back to that grave that he had stomped on, and he apologized and was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you, and like I hope you can forgive me and leave me alone." And he said, like, all of a sudden he just got this overwhelming feeling like everything was going to be okay. And he went back home and he didn't see this guy anymore.